To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Okay, so I'm back at the tiny house build again today, and I wanted to bring you inside even though it's a little dark in here. It's another cloudy, cold day. Carolyn got all the walls done. This was the last wall she had to complete. I think that's the last wall you saw unfinished. And so I have to continue working outside in the cold. So today I got several challenges ahead of me that make me kind of nervous. I got to do the peak. So we're gonna have a piece that comes up to the peak and then starts to go to the other side. So not only do I gotta cut one angle, I gotta cut the other angle also. Then I have to cut it at the window. Then I have to come underneath the window and down to the tongue of the trailer, and I got to cut around that tongue. Again, a lot of people said that I could take the tongue off, I could unbolt it, but it's welded. So in yesterday's video, I showed you that I had a piece of scrap metal here. That is a full width piece of metal. And what I did was I hung it up on the wall temporarily to find my square. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing today. I'm gonna put it right over that hump on that piece of metal. That'll take it out to wherever it comes out to. And then I can start taking my measurements off that. I'm gonna hang my 1x4s again like that. That way I got something to drill into. Okay, so I thought I'd come up here and I would show you better than I did yesterday what I'm doing with the scrap sheet. Now I use this angle scrap sheet simply because the other piece I had wouldn't fit behind my ladder, so I'd have to move my ladder. So I just used a smaller piece. But it's not the height that I'm trying to figure out. It's the width. So what I got to do is I got to figure out where the peak is in relationship to this panel. So now I'll be able to take my level, straight edge, essentially, and I'll come down and I'll be able to mark it here on my panel. Then I can measure from this side over to wherever my mark is, and then I know where to cut. Then I have to come up from the peak again, down to the window, J channel, and make my mark there also on the panel. Then I got a third step, and this one's the one that's got me most stressed out, is now my third step is I got to figure out what the angle is from here down to the window. So that's where this plays the most critical role, right here. Because all I got to do is line my tape measure up with this panel straight up, just come straight down, and then I know what the distance is there. Let's hope I get it right. So I'm going to use my chalk line as a plumb bob, and the way you do that is you just kind of hang it up. See, it's got a little lock right here, and you can hang it up, and then that will create a straight line. I'm going to put this at the peak of my gable like I show you here, and I'm going to run it down. When it gets down to the metal, roughly right there, then I can take my pencil and make a little mark. Then I can measure the distance from the plumb bob to the edge of the metal. That way I can make my mark over there on my panel. Okay, so the measurements that I have established now is from the peak of the gable down to the window, which is 49.5 inches. You can see my chalk line. And now I know how far over my peak is. It's 4 3/4 inches. You might be able to see the mark right there. Fortunately, it's right on this little groove of the panel. I like it when that works out like that. Now the thing I got to find out is the angle from here over to there, and then finally the angle from here over to here. Okay, I think I got all my measurements laid out. I actually made a mistake. I went back up, I checked all my measurements, came back down, and this line right here, I don't know if you can see it, was an inch too far. So what you got here is at the peak, this is where the peak's going to be, it's 49.5 inches. At this side of the panel, it's 34 3/4. So from the window J channel to the peak. And then here, I actually don't remember, but you can see it's just a few inches down. That's the J channel. That's where this is going to land, right into the J channel of the window, up. Now I'm going to cut it. We'll put it up there and see if it fits. This is the most nerve-wracking cut that I've made so far. I'm very nervous about this, but got to do it. One of the things you got to remember is you're working upside down. This is a directional panel. This tab here has to go closest to me. And so there's the other side that doesn't have the tab. That has to overlap onto the other panel. So now we're working upside down. The reason you have to work upside down is because in order to cut this, you have to have a smooth edge. The other side's a big hump. You'd have to go over that hump with the saw. Okay, so I got my angle cut. Wish me luck. It fits. Oh, that is just a huge relief. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, I'm going to have to cut out a hole in my panel to get around this tongue. And then I'm going to have to cut just one cut. That way I can flex the panel out, slide it around this, and then come on down. Of course, that means the panel is going to have a seam in it now on the underside. I might put a piece of 1x4 behind it, just kind of hold it there. Okay, so I've measured it all out and I've created a box on the metal sheeting. It's hard to see, I'm sure, but I've got it drawn out right here and here. So that's where the tongue of the trailer will go. I'm going to cut it out with the grinder this time. That way I can have a little control over it. I don't know if I'll do a very good job with the saw. So it worked. I might have gotten the hole too far down. I don't know how I did that, but in the end, it went into the J channel, just a little seam here, like I said. So we'll put a board behind that. I don't know, it might be okay. I'll see how it goes, but there's another measurement. We're getting close. Now, of course, I still got the other side to do with the door, but I don't have the tongue to deal with. So, nerve-wracking. Ha-ha! I got it. 2 down, 6 to go. I think I got 2 more on this side to do, and then of course I got the other side. So that means I got 6 more opportunities to mess this up, to make a serious mistake. And if I mess any of this up, I mean, it's gonna be hundreds of dollars to fix. You know, I gotta buy the panel, and I gotta have the shipping, and I've gotta, you know, get the shipping crate. It's not a cheap mistake. Something that did happen that I wasn't really expecting was that buckled, because I guess the window is pushed in too far. I didn't have this problem over here on the other side. I talked to Carolyn and we decided it's no big deal. It's okay, and it's not that noticeable. I mean, it's noticeable, but we can live with it. So I guess it gives it character. Something I might be able to do is put some trim up there and cover it up with brown trim. Who knows? The key to success on this, in my opinion, at least the key to my success, is to stop and think, and just stop. It has taken me an extraordinary long time to do these 2 panels. Every measurement, I check, double check, triple check. This morning, before I made the peak cut, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for a little walk. I'm gonna think about everything I just did. So I walked out in the woods, I saw some deer, that was cool. But the whole time I was thinking, okay, what do I need to do? So I came back, I double checked my measurements, and sure enough, I was off by an inch. The same thing happened here. I was actually measuring and the hole would have been here, but I stopped before I made my cut. I walked over here, I looked at things, I'm like, okay, what do I got? I came back over here, oh my goodness, the lip is on the wrong side. In my mind, I picked it up and I set it on the wall and I realized, oh, the hole's on top. You just gotta go slow. I hope I can encourage you to slow down so you can perfect your dream. Thanks for watching.